Hand for Cliff makes a triumphant return.
Kingman now by as many lengths as he wants. It's Ribchester and William Buick who are going to win.
Baaeed is a class apart here. Another star performance.
Newbury Racecourse has seen some of the best equine talent in the world. The reason? The gallop in nature, its fairness for horse and rider. Let's find out a little about the oval here at Newbury. Well, over 1.5 miles, the famous start. Obviously, we've seen some superstars win the Geoffrey Freer down the years, the likes of 60s icon and Silver Patriarch.
Silver Patriarch, who was denied in this race last year, but this time he's got his head in front, and it's Silver Patriarch. There won't be a more popular winner.
You've got so much time down the back, so there really isn't a draw bias whatsoever. Jockeys like to get over towards the left-hand rail, but you'll often see them towards the centre before they settle into a rhythm. Easing our way down the back straight, the 1.5 mile start. Superstar Hamish springs to mind, who's been successful from this particular starting point. Again, the nature of where we actually start. It's so wide, it's open. It doesn't matter if you're drawn out in stall 15 or 1. Obviously a slight advantage towards the inside, but you have so much time from a rider's perspective to find that slot just in behind the leaders.
Hamish hanging to the far side has just, I think, won.
10 furlongs, 1.25 miles. We've had a couple of the easy starts where the draw didn't really matter. Here, with just a 1/4 mile to run before we enter the false straight and a downhill part of the track, it can be significant. You don't want to be 3 wide going into that, which is only 440 yards away. Al Kazim, a 4-time Group 1 winner, and Baaeed, who went on to win the Champion Stakes, dominated here. Some demolition performances in the London Gold Cup.
Baaeed draws away, and Baaeed is going to be far too good for them here. The market has got it right.
Luckily for the riders, there is no particular start at this part on the track. You've made the slight climb from the 1.25 miles up until the gentle roll away as the track goes into the false straight. If you haven't got the thoroughbred settled here, as you then go downhill again before the return to the home straight proper, your chance of victory is at least halved. The Hungerford is a famous race here at Newbury, and they used to start at this particular point. You can understand why it was moved in 2002 to the straight track. You may as well have been running down there into a chicane at 40 miles an hour.
So they're off. And all break well. Frankel has ridden this one really cannily, held him up, let him see no daylight. Now he's got the gap, now he's gone clear. Bin Rosie at the line.
On the jumps track, they have the cross fence. Here on the flat, we like to call it the false straight. If you haven't got your horse settled coming down into this little portion of the track, trust me, the petrol gauge is running empty for your final kick to the line. The mile. Everybody associates it with the Lockinge, of course. It has been classed as one of the best mile races in Europe for many a season. There is ever such a slight climb up towards the top of the hill. Hawkwing managed to win here in 2003. 11 lengths was his victory in the hands of Mick Kinnan. Timeform rated it the best performance over a mile anywhere in the world for over 10 seasons.
Hawkwing makes it all. A brilliant performance in the Lockinge Stakes. Hawkwing by a mile.
7 furlongs. The Greenham and the Fred Darling. 2 fantastic trials for the classics up at Newmarket. The stalls are normally positioned in the centre of the track, which will make where you need to be a very easy option for a rider. This year, for the Fred Darling, the stalls were positioned on the stand rail. It made it particularly tricky for James Doyle coming down there as Holly went on to victory.
It's Folgaria, the raider from Italy, showing in front. A big run in Malka on the outside. Still there, Regal Jubilee. It is just Folgaria.
The reason that this track can be a jockey's nightmare if they go to one particular side or the other is because it is near on Bowling Green Flat. When you get all of the quality horses racing together, timing, grouping and where you get the splits is at an absolute premium.
Esquire with a blue cap nearest to us though has come to take it up. It's still Esquire and Danny Todd who show in front and go on to win.
6 furlongs, famous for the Mill Reef, Group 2 status for the juveniles, and it looks pretty straightforward. Again, if the stalls are positioned in the centre of the track. There has been Harry Angel in 2016 who went on to be champion sprinter in his 3-year-old career, and Ribchester, who's a Group 1 winning miler. Dark Angel ended up being a super sire of not only Art Power, Harry Angel, and of course, the wonderful champion that is Batash.
Dark Angel strike the deal all the time, is trying to get close, but Dark Angel has joined on the line, but may have held on.
At the 5 furlong start, we normally have a huge field for the super sprint. So you'd think that it would favour one side or the other. Winners have come for every particular part of the track. It's all dependent on where the speed is. If you want to find the winner, however, of the super sprint, the Hannon Camp have won it on 11 occasions, 7 for senior and 4 for junior.
It's Happy Romance clear by 2 lengths from Jojo Rabbit in second, and Happy Romance goes on to win really decisively.
Jockeyship is always at a premium at any high-class venue. Years gone by, Pat Edery and Frankie Dettori would swing into the straight and stay pinned up against this left-hand rail, making it difficult for all the jockeys in behind. Just recently though, the jockeys have swung off into the straight for an arrowhead formation down the centre, giving everybody a little more chance to collect the prize.
As they swung for home, they're still quite well stretched out. Greystoke making the pace.
It won't happen very often, but if you find yourself travelling to just before the furlong marker, there is a slight dip to delay your challenge. Make a run for home before the final furlong, which is Bowling Green Flat.
They're inside the last furlong. Frankel in front, here comes, straight win, number 10. His 6th Group 1 victory, and as they run towards the line, Frankel remains unbeaten and remains to look invincible.
It's hosted some of the greats down the years, notably Enable, who started her 3-year-old career here.
Both of the fillies a little bit keen early on. The green cap of Enable is fractionally ahead of her stable maiden favourite Shutter Speed.
Before going on to 11 Group 1 victories. She was a superstar all over the globe. The fact she came here early on will tell you all you need to know about it being the perfect venue for the highest class equine talent in the world.
He's stretching away, and Frankel maintains his unbeaten record.
Muhara and Frankie have grabbed the lead.
Palace clear, he's all class, wins the Alsha Cab Lockinge Stakes.